Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Outliers podcast. Today we have a very, very special episode. This is episode 3. We have one of my very good friends, a TikToker with over 1.4 million followers, the best real estate agent in the world. Also may qualify for the sexiest person in the world. I don't know. We'll see. My guy, Aaron Grushow. Give it up. Let's go.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm super stoked.
Dude, if you don't make any corrections to that, you can, but I think that was pretty spot on.
Yeah, that was perfect.
That was a pretty perfect one.
That was as good of an intro as I've ever heard.
Hey, how you been, man? How you
Solid, dude. Working away, doing my best, balancing that work life. You know how it goes.
The work-life balance, it's something key everybody's trying to get into now.
100%.
Well, for the people that don't know you, give a quick intro to yourself,
Yeah, definitely. So my name's Aaron Grushow. I grew up here in Los Angeles. Very thankful to have, grown up and continued to live in this beautiful city that I call home. I come from a digital marketing background and sort of pursued that throughout my sort of early years and kind of got into real estate not intentionally. I guess my mom's an interior designer, and so I grew up around her and got exposed to luxury homes and just the housing market in general through her, and thought I could apply my social media and digital marketing knowledge to sort of grow my own personal brand as a real estate agent here in Los Angeles and somehow find a way to stand out from this incredibly saturated industry.
Super saturated.
Yeah, and so I sort of got my license and went for it, and a little luck, a little skill, and I somehow managed to grow a pretty large following on social media. And I've joined a phenomenal real estate team here in Los Angeles. Aaron Kerman Group in Beverly Hills. We're a subsidy of Compass, and
that's one of the biggest, right?
Yeah. No, Compass has grown really quickly. Definitely one of the largest real estate brokerages in the United States. Very rooted in technology, which is something I really align with. And when I first got my license, I knew I wanted to align myself with something cutting edge at the forefront, and Compass really is that. So I found myself in a really good spot. I'm now a little over 2 years into the business, and things are happening. The ball is rolling.
That's good, man. That's so good to hear. Like, I met you 2 years ago, a year and a half ago now.
Yeah, probably a year and a half ago or something like that. Yeah.
And it's just like great. Like every time I talk to you, it's like you're moving up to something. You started like a solo, right? And then you kind of moved up to different groups. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, I think I sort of have that entrepreneurial mindset in the most humble way possible.
Yeah. No.
But I was doing digital media. I was working at a pretty cool startup in Marina Del Rey. They specialize in creating viral video content for brands.
Oh, really?
So we worked with some major brands: Pepsi, Cricket Wireless, AMG Mercedes, the Olympic Channel, and with some big influencer celebrities, Ronaldo, Leonardo DiCaprio, Rihanna, and I was a digital strategist there. So that's where I really got my background in social media and leveraging those platforms to grow big brands. And I was just like, you know what? Like, this is cool. Like, I love working for other people and I'm learning a ton, but I'm young. I feel like I am in a very privileged position to have access to a lot of people here in Los Angeles. And, I have some amazing mentors that were, pushing me to do some big things. So I decided to, kind of take that risk. And I feel like a lot of people, especially, us young folk, kind of owe it to ourselves to take that risk. And I get that a lot of people aren't in the position to do that, but I kind of just went for it, and I'm now doing something that's strictly commission based, so it's not like I know where my next paycheck is coming from every day. So there are ups and downs, but fortunately I found a cool spot on social media that helps me out as well. But yeah, man, I'm just going for it.
That's good, man. Honestly, that's it's just so good to hear that, pushing yourself. You had something that was great, but you wanted to take the risk, even though you knew what you had was great, working with these big companies.
Yeah. But
you still wanted to take that risk. I think that's something that everybody could take away, is that sometimes even when you're in a good position, you still have the opportunity to get better.
100%.
Never get comfortable.
Yeah. No, I think what you said is super important. Being comfortable. I think sometimes we find ourselves being comfortable because that's only natural, but in order to grow and progress, you have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. this whole, real estate sales thing is tough, especially like in this market, and you got to find ways to generate leads that other people are not doing. So like I'm doing a bunch of cold calling, a bunch of, what people would call soliciting, and it's super uncomfortable. Like that's not really me deep down. I've never been the person to like bug someone or go out of my way to push them, and I'm not a very like salesy person. So it's definitely put me in uncomfortable places, but I've realized like I need to do some of those things in order to succeed in this type of business.
It's a skill that
it's applicable to everything, man.
No, that makes total sense. A lot of people know you for your social media following, now your real estate and stuff like that. I kind of want to get a little bit deeper into like your person, to Aaron. I want people to understand. That's where our podcast is, like understanding the person. So you had a pretty unique childhood. I don't remember much, but we had a brief conversation about it. Can you tell me like a little bit about your childhood and how you think that kind of shaped you to like who you are now?
Definitely. So yeah, I mean, like I had a very, I guess you could say, fortunate upbringing. Like I'm so lucky to have grown up to a loving family. My dad was big in the entertainment space. He was the president and then chairman of Fox Entertainment. So he launched shows like The Simpsons, American Idol, In Living Color, Family Guy, 90210. The list goes on and on and on. And like he's definitely been a huge inspiration of mine, and he's just a marketing mastermind, just business mastermind. He's a very intelligent person, and I think I've gotten a lot from him. And then my mom is just so savvy and just good with people, and she's got her interior design business that she started from scratch, and I think I've been able to sort of draw from both of them, and I feel like I'm the best of both of them, if that makes sense.
It does.
Because, we all have our flaws. But, I grew up in Beverly Hills, and then I went to high school out in Malibu. So, like, I'm super, super fortunate to have gotten that. And I think relationships have always been important to me. I've always, I never really knew what I was going to do in life. Like, I've always had different passions and whatnot, but I knew from a young age that building relationships and maintaining relationships were super important, and it's something that was gonna carry me throughout whatever I did. And so like I think from a young age I definitely made it a point to just meet tons of people, build relationships, stay in touch with people, and it turns out that has really helped me in what I'm doing now. I think that's something my upbringing really inspired me to do. I mean, this isn't the easiest place to grow up in.
It's definitely not.
LA is
interesting place.
Very interesting place. My girlfriend's dad calls it La La Land. Like it's kind of just like this woo woo kind of like. I don't know. There's definitely some negatives and some downsides, and I definitely didn't have all the best influences growing up.
I mean, it's tough. Like you're gonna be exposed to a lot of different things.
Totally,
a lot of different things.
Yeah, definitely. But I somehow managed to turn out okay, I guess. But I mean, I attribute that to my family, and
that's good.
But I so grew up here, and then I went to college in San Luis Obispo at Cal Poly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Central Coast. Go Mustangs. But I was an ethnic studies major, and a lot of people don't know that. I sort of didn't really know what I wanted to do. But like I said, I love people, I love culture, and I love history. And ethnic studies really dives into different groups of people, ethnicities, cultures in the United States, and sort of their challenges and experiences. Talk a lot about, racism and I guess a lot of social issues that go on in our country and around the world. And I think that also is a huge factor into, I guess, what led me to do what I'm doing. I don't know, like I really got exposed to a lot of things that I was not aware of.
You probably would have never seen them before.
Dude,
or something.
I'm a white Jew from Beverly Hills. I don't think it's my fault, but I just wasn't exposed to a lot of different things that a lot of people encounter and experience throughout their lives. And I think ethnic studies gave me like a crazy worldview, really opened my eyes to how fortunate I am in my upbringing. And I think it instilled something in me that like I owe it to a lot of other people who don't have the same opportunities as me to really put my best foot forward and do my best to like accomplish things. And yeah, like I went into ethnic studies. Yeah, I had to declare a major, and I was planning to then like probably transfer out if I didn't like it, but I ended up loving it. So yeah, I think those types of things, like traveling and just experiencing the world and seeing other perspectives, are so key to like any direction you want to take in life, you know?
Yeah, no, it really is. So obviously we kind of touched on your childhood and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know you play some, or you grew up playing some pretty unique sports as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you?
I was kind of all over the place. My brother and my dad are like sports fanatics, but like it's always the traditional team sports, you know, basketball, football, baseball. I never really got into those. I was more of like an individual sports kind of guy. So martial arts really was like the first sport that just grabbed me. And I started out doing like karate, and then I got into actual mixed martial arts, and by the time I was in middle school I started to compete. And actually in high school I took some time off of actual high school. I did independent studies to compete, and like I took it very seriously. But it sort of, I don't know, by the time I got to college, priorities changed, but I still love martial arts.
That's really cool. Where did you compete at?
So mostly just like all around California. Go to Vegas, but mostly like local tournaments and stuff like that. So I trained at the Pit. I don't know if you know who Chuck Liddell is.
I do. Yes,
okay.
I do. Yeah.
So that was like his Hawaiian Kempo. Like that was his like martial art, his mixed martial art. And the original Pit was actually in San Luis Obispo. So the first time I ever went out to see Cal Poly was for a tournament, and I saw Cal Poly, and I was like, wow, I want to go to school here.
Yeah, that's nice.
So yeah, I did that. A lot of surfing. So fortunate to grow up in Malibu by the beach, and like surfing was, it still is like so much to me. Like I love being out in the water, love the ocean. And I was on my surf team in high school, which not many people can say.
Yeah, I mean, I've never, honestly, before I met you, I didn't even know what a surf team was.
Yeah, well, my high school was literally a 10-minute walk from the beach.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And so we would have surf practice before school in the mornings, like dawn patrol, before the sun came up. My senior year, I guess my first period teacher, which was wood shop, was my surf coach.
Okay.
And so two of us were in that class, and he'd be like, you guys like can show up late to class,
and
like
go
keep
surf.
surfing.
Yeah.
And dude, that was like insane to think back now, like I was able to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like I love individual sports, like action sports. I love like snowboarding, just being in the snow. Like I don't know, I'm weird.
Yeah. No, I'm into all the favorite things you are, except for martial arts. But I'd love to get into it. It's pretty intense, I've heard, but great for like, I guess, mind,
everything.
body.
Mind, body.
I've heard that like a lot of people say like it really helps your mind.
100%.
What aspect? Can you go into like, a little bit of that?
Yeah, well, so my favorite, I guess, art you can call it is jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And I assume a lot of you know what that is, but if not, it's all on the ground. Like there's no striking, it's all submissions and getting the best position on the ground. So there's like some wrestling, there's some takedowns, a little bit of everything, but it's a puzzle. It really is. Like it's just as physical as it is like mental. You're constantly thinking your next move, and it's like chess. Like you're thinking 3-4 moves ahead. If I, do this and I get this lock and I, mount over here, like what is he going to do? Okay, if he does that, I have to do this. So it's like, it's a lot of thinking, and like any, I guess, sport, it's just an outlet from everything else. Like you are focusing 100% on this, and nothing else in the world is getting into your mind at that point,
Yeah.
Especially in martial arts, because like it's very physical. You're avoiding getting hit or submitted. You're on the ground, you're avoiding getting choked out and your arm being broken. So like there's a lot of focus that goes into it, and I think it's good like discipline, and just it keeps your mind focused on what's right in front of you instead of getting distracted from work or whatever else is happening.
That's really cool. Honestly, I gotta start getting into it a little bit.
Yeah.
Have you ever been choked out?
Oh yeah.
You have?
Yeah. 100%.
How does it feel?
I learned pretty quickly to tap. I guess in the beginning, of course, like you're very, I don't know, it's not like you're cocky per se, but like you want to push the limits. If someone's got you in a chokehold, like you're gonna try your best to get out.
Yeah.
If someone's got you in an arm bar, like you're gonna struggle to get out. Yeah. But at a certain point, you learn it's like it's not worth it. Like just chap and like reset. But like I've definitely gotten choked out, rear naked choked. No broken bones, luckily.
That's
but
good. Yeah.
yeah, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah. That's definitely an experience probably in itself.
Yeah, man. I need to get back into it more. Like I follow like UFC and martial arts and boxing pretty closely, but I miss actually like doing it. I definitely want to get back into jiu-jitsu at least.
Do you have a favorite fighter right now?
I'd probably say Israel Adesanya.
He's pretty versatile.
I mean, I was a big Anderson Silva fan.
Yeah.
I just love creative striking, and he's so versatile. And yeah, just his movement. There's no one else like him out there. He's a ninja.
He is.
But yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of favorite fighters, but I think he's my favorite to watch right now.
Yeah, I probably have to agree with you. He's very good. John Jones was really good, but yeah, issues.
John, man, he's in it right now. I don't know if we're ever gonna see him fight again.
Yeah, I just wish he just stayed focused. You know, he could have been. He probably was one of the best.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, you could have easily called him the GOAT, and I'm sure people still do. But I mean, I personally can't call him the GOAT.
Yeah,
right
not
now.
anymore.
Yeah,
I feel you. Well, now let's move on to kind of your social media presence, because that was a unique one, right?
Yeah.
You were the first person on TikTok to kind of like start real estate videos, right?
I mean, that's the reason why I did it was because, excuse me, I was a consumer, and like from my previous job, it was my role to understand every relevant social media platform and like how to best use them, right? And so I knew of TikTok for a very long time, but I never created any content. I never posted or anything. But yeah, I think it was kind of summer 2019. It's probably like August that I really started to like get on there and see what was happening, because at that point I had just gotten my license the month before, and I was posting content on my Instagram stories and on Facebook and LinkedIn, and I was getting really good responses. Even from people who live in these types of homes. They were like, wow, this is so cool, like keep showing us, keep doing these little house tours. And I was like, damn, if these people are enjoying it, imagine Timmy in Nebraska, right?
Yeah.
Like, what is he going to think of this $50 million house in Beverly Hills?
Like, it's sweet. It's a dream. It's a dream.
Exactly. So, I was on TikTok, and it was really, I got to give my friend Danny Halpern some credit here, because he was the one who was pushing me to do it. He's like, look, like, I don't see anyone on here doing real estate content, especially no luxury real estate content. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like, there's no one doing it. Like, I could literally take my Instagram stories that I have saved already in vertical format, throw them straight onto TikTok, throw some music on there, and see what happens.
Yeah.
And literally that's what I did. Then next morning woke up, and it was like one of those like overnight, like holy shit moments.
How many did you get on your first one?
My first video was 100,000 views.
That's got to be
posted at like
insane.
7 p.m. and woke up 7 a.m. and had like 100,000 views, and like I had 5,000 followers on my Instagram at that point. Like, to get 100,000 people to see something online was like, what the fuck? Like, this is crazy.
It kind of opens your doors, like, or your eyes, and you see like, oh, this is actually possible.
100%. And at that point I knew like I had to just go, because other people were going to find out about this. And October 2019, I think, was when I posted my first video. And at that time, TikTok was just about getting going here. It wasn't, where it's at now. And so I was just super consistent. I had a major file of videos that I had already posted that I was just going to repurpose for TikTok, and I would post one at least once a day. And I did that until January 1st. From end of October 2019 to January 1st, 2020, I had reached 1 million followers.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's insane growth.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the power of TikTok too.
Yeah, no, 100%. And people say like, oh, like those days are over. Like that's bullshit. Like there's still so much potential out there. Short form video is it right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, TikTok is a different beast. Like,
it is.
It's unbelievable. What realistically, it just came down to, I got a little lucky with my timing, but I was just so consistent.
Yeah, and that's a key,
every
though.
Single day.
Posting consistently.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, your content was very unique at the time, and it still is, honestly. Like, the houses you're showing are still, like I would be like, damn, like, every time I see your content, like, Aaron, one day.
Yeah, I think
house.
I had, like, I can't remember where I heard this, but, like, maybe I completely made this up, but it was always my goal to, like, entertain, educate, and inspire. And I feel like all content has to either have like one or all three of those I don't know where I heard that. I just made that up. I don't know. But like, I feel like I hit kind of all of them because like, it's definitely entertaining. Like I'm trying to inspire people by showing, you know, what is possible out there. And like, I have definitely implemented some more educational content. But yeah, it's definitely not something you see every day. And I feel like I'm sort of giving people an inside look of a lifestyle that most have no idea about.
They don't even know it exists.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I think that's one of my goals in life is to show people what is possible. I was so fortunate to grow up in, you know, Los Angeles, in nice areas in Los Angeles, and have friends and family to live that kind of lifestyle. So like, I think I knew what was possible, and I think that has pushed me to, you know, continue to grow and reach crazy heights.
Yeah.
But there are so many people out there with so much talent and so much potential, but they don't actually realize like what is possible. And so there's that like roadblock, you know?
Yeah.
But I think if everyone just understood like you can do this,
Yeah.
like, people would go way further in life.
Yeah, I totally agree. Honestly, I think it's just about that little extra work. I think people just don't want to do that. I think it's just that a little bit more. You know, you just have to do that little bit more, and you'll get there. Something I was telling some of my friends as well is like, stay consistent.
Yeah,
Post consistently, you'll be good.
definitely.
But that's great. And you also started YouTube, right? Recently.
Yeah, I'm working on it. It's in the works.
Yeah.
I've filmed some things, and then afterwards realized I didn't like them. So I'm like experimenting. I'm sort of doing a lifestyle vlog / real estate channel. That's the goal, at least. Like, I want to give people an inside look of, you know, my daily life as a newer real estate agent trying to make it in the luxury world. You know, I'm not trying to fool people. Like, I'm trying to be as authentic as possible.
Yeah.
You know, I can go out there and say I'm selling millions and millions of dollars of real estate every single day, doing these crazy transactions, but that's not the case. Like, I'm still learning every single day. Like, I'm only 2.5 years into this business, not even. And I think any startup, it takes time to get the ball rolling, no matter what you're doing. And especially in an industry like luxury real estate. I'm 25 years old, and there are plenty of people who have been doing this way longer than I have. And I'm competing against them. I'm working with people to buy and sell multi-million-dollar assets. Like, it's tough to get people to trust me. And then there's so many different hats you have to wear as a real estate agent. You know, I'm not just a real estate agent. I'm a marriage counselor. I'm a friend. I'm doing so much stuff. So like, I will really want to show people what it's actually like to do this type of business. But I also really want to show like me. Like, I think on TikTok, I like, not purposely, but I put on this sort of like formal persona and whatnot, which is like, I guess, part of my personal brand, but I don't think people see who I really am, if that makes sense. And so like, I want YouTube to be as authentic and natural, like not super produced, if that makes sense.
I totally agree, and that's kind of what we're here on this podcast too, is to dive deeper on like who you are. And I think it's a very unique perspective, and people should probably take note of that as well. I want to touch on that what you just said right now, about the wearing different hats and trying to like, you know, because that's a lot of what real estate is. You have to like really build that connection with people to trust you for that. So like, walk us through kind of like, you meet somebody and now how your conversations go from there.
Yeah, totally. So there are plenty of ways to meet people, right? I guess we call it generating leads. Well, there's a difference between meeting people and building relationships and generating leads that affect your business. But I think it's so important to not neglect any interaction or any conversation whatsoever. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're, you know, a multi-millionaire or you're some homeless dude on the street. Like, you should talk to everyone. You should meet anyone. And I think that's so important. You never know when someone is going to be able to help you. You never know when you're going to be able to help someone else. And just maintaining relationships and friendships, being able to bounce perspectives and ideas off people from all walks of life is so important in my eyes. So that's something that I really make a point to do, is literally have a conversation with anyone. Like, I get so many DMs all day long, and I do my best to answer them, you know? Most of them are, you know, students trying to get into real estate, and like, I help where I can. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little too generous with my time, but it's super important to just talk to everyone and never never talk down and neglect anyone. So like, that's definitely a point I make. But in terms of like generating leads from there, like, there's many different ways to do it. I think social media has been one of my major ones. Just because I'm exposed to so many people, it's a great way to generate leads, build relationships, and nurture them. But like I said before, I need to take a step further and do things that other people aren't doing to sort of tap into this super saturated industry and
stand out from that
and stand out from the rest. So like I need to find other ways. So I've been doing a lot of cold calling. And I haven't really done much of the whole like door knocking thing yet. I do like an aspect of that. What I love to do is work with developers. I'm super fascinated with, ground up construction from the very beginning to the end. So I love to work with people, through their construction process of homes. And so I meet a lot of people that way. But it just comes down to picking a few things that work for you. Whether that's cold calling expired leads or old solds, or just going to the bar or a club and trying to have conversations. There's so many different ways to do it. It's just about making that initial connection and then the follow-up. The follow-up's the most important part. I think that's where people lack at in this business is the follow-up. Like you can meet someone who says they want to sell in, a year. And most people will be like, all right, like I'll talk to them in a year, but like, no, you need to build more of a relationship, more rapport. There's so many of us agents. If you're not doing it, someone else is. So like you need to follow up, every few months, every few weeks even. And that's just super important in this business.
Relationships are your network is your net worth.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And look, that's all sales, right? That's just not real estate sales. I think a lot of sales is, fully applicable to every other type of sales, right? But I mean, real estate specifically it's a tough one. Yeah,
it is. Quickly kind of I want to throw this question at you.
Yeah.
All right. You obviously get to live a good life of you're also a social media star and you continue real estate. But if you had to choose one, which one would you choose?
I don't really care about the stardom and being famous and whatnot on social media. Like if you knew me, like, I'm actually more of a low-key guy. Like I don't like love being in front of the camera or anything. Like I don't need that. I have so many like friends and whatnot who like thrive off just being the center of attention. Like I could care less, truthfully. I definitely like just kind of be more low key, do this real estate sales thing. But I mean, that's definitely not my like long-term goal. Like I like sales, don't get me wrong, but I think like I'm an entrepreneur at heart. Like I want to start different businesses. I want to do this and that. And I love marketing and branding, which is like kind of a flaw of mine too. I think because I have too many things going on. I have too many interests. Like I really want to do this and this and this. It's tough to like and I get distracted.
We'll hammer it down. We got some things. Me and Aaron are working on some things. All right. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time today, but Aaron will be on again. I guarantee it.
100%. No, I'd love to.
But yeah, Queen, you want to quickly shout yourself out to the camera? Say, follow me, Aaron 100%. Grushow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all over social media. Aaron Grushow Homes, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, the whole nine. Shoot me a follow there. If you're interested in learning more about like real estate, I'm happy to help out in any way, shape, or form. If you were interested in buying a house, selling a house, leasing a house, like I can definitely help you, even if you're not in Los Angeles, which is my major market. Like I could definitely point you in the right direction. But man, I'm so stoked to be here. Thanks so much, and let's definitely do this again.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. This is episode 3 with Aaron Grushow. I'll leave all of his links down in the description. Please check him out. Follow him everywhere. If you're going to buy a house, buy from him. He's the best.
I'd love to help.
All right. See you guys. Peace.